castles in the sky. Time flows, it passes by. Reach the place where we fly. The place I wanna, place I wanna. Hand in hand in my dream world, having you blush at night. Now you in my fire. Blush at night, you blush at night. Right at night, you blush at night. What I got in my dream world, keeping you out from cold. Fight, my fight. We need that fight.
Peace out. This is Edison Studio. Quick video talking about frequencies. I already made this video once, but I will do it again to make it quicker. I don't want to cut this because I want to just leave that cutting part out of it. You will see everything as it is, as it unfolds. I'm sure I've talked about this topic a million times on this channel already, but how they say in Finnish, we say kertaus on opintojen äiti. Is it like repetition is the mother of learning? Maybe this is, I don't know, do you have this phrase in English? But it just says that like you learn these things through repetition and consistency and stuff like this. And you know, it's always you overlook stuff if you don't repeat some of even this ABC stuff you need to have. So yeah, I'm talking about a beat that is actually heavily left balanced. Like it's not symmetrical. If we look like Dua Lipa, we can actually go like Kirkpatrick. Ian Kirkpatrick is the producer. What you call it? Like the Dua Lipa stereo mix map. Is it a map? What you call it? Like is it like this kind of? Okay, that's not proper, but with that you see the symmetry. It's symmetric. Stereo image mix map. Like I've seen these images somewhere. Basically some like book resources have listed those, but the point is what I'm trying to say, just maybe it has a name, you maybe know what word I was looking for. But they are very symmetrical. Very symmetric. When you look 80s music, you might see more like this. You have guitar, it's panned a little bit to the left. Maybe this guitar's reverb is panned to the right, or something like this is happening. Then you have something that compensates the guitar on right. It can be like hi-hat or something. They are like balancing each other and making this interesting stereo feel happen, because the stereo is all about you feeling the difference between left and right, you know. So but this is like the wrong way of doing it. This is underground beat. My friend started using this to make vocals to it. So I just wanted to use this also as a demonstration here. So let's analyze it just with the span analyzer here alone.
Kokoomus lupaa, että
yeah, this is, and also another problem starts here. You hear the difference. So this is too quiet compared to this. It's almost like at maximum you want only 3 dB difference. 3 to 6 some say. In mastering we talk about headroom. 3 to 6 dB before mastering is a good key of a rule of thumb, let's say. But like you just need a little bit less dynamics between these, because this is gonna be a problem if you want to compress this signal. If you want it to be a soft master, then okay, this is fine. Maybe it's a little bit more dynamic master. We might be going for that, but that's not then like Post Malone sound. It's not gonna win the loudness war, I promise. This is what I can guarantee. But it's almost like we want to try to compete also in that war, because oftentimes louder mixes and masters are perceived as better. I'm sorry, I don't completely agree with that, and I think it's very listener dependent. But that is maybe, it's not maybe a rule, but it is the thing to keep in mind. But it's every time, in every case, it's unique situation what you want. But okay, let's start by recognizing those harsh frequencies. So here, I've been doing some of this needling. This is called needling frequencies. So here, this, like Jesus. Like this is what I'm talking about. But there is also something that I don't want to hear. Put this on also. This, like this is what I'm talking about. I already like looked for this. How you look them is like this, and that's like resonant frequency. Maybe when talking about lower frequencies, it's resonant frequency, because this starts to cause problems on the high end. You know, these lower frequencies, especially here. If you would have, maybe there is some dirt also, but now in the context, it can be good enough. But this is the stuff what I'm doing here with 2 EQs. Without them, especially listen to this Christus, Jesus Christ, this. But take these. Much better already. Much better. It's more pleasant to your ears. You want to repeat it. But we get even closer. This Ian Kirkpatrick has emotional relationship towards shoot. He's been telling a lot, putting a lot of emphasis to say this towards this plugin. So to attack to 0, so it's fastest possible. We can play around with this also, but I keep it like as it is, and hard setting, and it's stereo, even stereo. And what's happening, it's just again a little bit more balancing it out, rounding those very sharp frequencies, balancing them out. This is also emotion killing in a sense. It's like compressing, controlling. It's gonna help also the job of a compressor, but it's gonna alter the sound. So you need to be so very careful using those kind of things. Then we can add to the harmonic content, and this is again analog compression. Tape saturation adds analog compression and that harmonic content. And I like the studio setting with B. That's very warm sounding. Let's go for that.
Kokoomus lupaa, että tulevalla vaalikaudella suomalaisiin yrityksiin syntyy 100 000 uutta työpaikkaa.
That's kind of like the sweet spot. Then for example, I took this here using the preset, I think clean and open, and then just setting it up.
Kokoomus lupaa, että
We need to wait for the
tulevalla
drums.
suomalaisiin yrityksiin syntyy 100 000 uutta työpaikkaa.
I go to that drum spot. I know this is like a short example because I recorded it from my friend's video. So for example here, if I start listening from here, you see the compression. So we are using these green marked frequencies only to compress the signal with this threshold, with 4:1 ratio, with 10 millisecond attack and 35.3 millisecond release. So this is what is the timing when the compressor starts to compress, and this release is when it releases the compression. So that's kind of like the tick of it, if you will. So it's not compressing, but now that could help you with compressing the drum a little bit lower and getting that dynamic range a tad closer, but that's not gonna be enough, and you are killing that drum at the same time. Maybe it's a little bit wrong settings. You maybe need a little bit more attack and quicker release. That can be hard to set perfectly. And then I'm gonna leave that out and demonstrate some limiting. Ceiling, use it true peak. I like this vintage limiter because this also falls to that box of rounding the sound up because it has analog, tube, modern. We have the character amount. So this is gonna be similar to this tape and other analog things. Maybe True Iron we mentioned. Transformer based, not tape or tube transformer. That's funk. Funk could be. The funk type. I want to peek here. I think mastering helps you also balance out the left and right differences. Necessarily here, I think it's still left-sided a lot. Yeah.
Kokoomus lupaa, että tulevalla vaalikaudella suomalaisiin yrityksiin syntyy 100 000.
But listen to that guitar without this. It's so much better like this. Now you can, when it's cleaned, you could use now this and now add the vocal. And maybe now be careful. So in mastering, I don't like this stuff. It's almost like clean it first and have differences between those sub-masters. And then it's gonna be so much better, you know. There's contrasts. And it helps the mix to be beautiful and have that contrast, you know. Contrast between colors, or almost like contrast between sounds. Yeah, just saying. These are just concepts and I wanted to repeat these here. I've been repeating these already for many years. But I think these are kind of like golden rules and these never change. And it's all about figuring out what are the problems and then try to fix. That's why you want to have multiple tools in your toolbox for different problems to fix, you know. Anyways, I'm gonna leave it here. Thank you for watching. It's been a pleasure. Long time no see. Subscribe, follow the channel. There's gonna be a lot of beautiful stuff coming up. I promise. The best times, they are just around the corner, about to come. You know what I'm talking about. Oh, sorry. I don't know what got into me. Peace out.
Look at me close, take your dose. The last time you see me, that I suppose. Remember the shadow and that red rose. And now that you understand how fast time goes, I'm going cause I want you to be free. Close your eyes and count to 3. Open your eyes, I'm in your heart. Today and night, my stone heart is my life. I'm lover, I'm warrior, I'm knight. I'm king and seeking a win. Might be a sin, but when I'm all in on the battleground, still thinking your skin. Goodbye forever. Means you with